Board meeting to order at 6:30. We're located in the Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, we can, Madam President. Trustee Abraham. Here. Trustee Tamalave.
Here.
Trustee Senior.
Here.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Trustee Shelby.
Here.
Trustee Wimper.
Here.
Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, we do have a quorum. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? May we all please have a moment of silence? I went kind of out of order. Okay, I will now read the Pledge of Civility. In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. All right. Item 2, public comment. Madam President, will we be taking this out of order?
Yes, I'm going to ask the trustee to make a motion to take public comment out of order and place it right after the clerk's report.
I make a motion to take the public meeting out of order to move after the clerk's public comment. I second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham, to take the order out of the meeting, regular meeting out of order, and move public comments to after item 12, after item 11, village clerk's report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are now on item 3, presentation. We have a presentation in regards to our upcoming project, the bike path. Stephen and Franny?
Before you start, I just want to give some highlights on this. We've been working on this bike pedestrian plan for probably a little bit, almost 2 years now. And so we've partnered with the Village of Bellwood, Westchester, Hillside, and Berkeley as we create pedestrian right-of-ways, what's best transportation as it relates to walkability, especially in Broadview on 17th Avenue, in our residential areas, as well as our industrial corridor. So now I'll turn it over to you. So thank you. I'm gonna come back.
Okay, thanks. And trustees, there's a final report or a draft final report that I left on the dais earlier. I am gonna grab it when I go. So if you wanna page through it, you're welcome to. If you'd like to see a PDF copy, Mayor Thompson has it right there. As was already said, my name is Franny Ritchie, and I'm here to present the West Cook Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan. It's a collaborative effort with the 4 other villages that Mayor Thompson already mentioned. Berkeley, Bellwood, Hillside, and Westchester, and I always have to go alphabetically or I screw it up. So the plan is comprehensive, but today, in the interest of time, I'm going to share an overview. It's currently in draft form, along with its companion executive summary and 2-pager. And it is funded by the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, or CMAP, their technical assistance program. Their project manager, Stephen Ostrander, is here today in the front row. The consultant firm is T.Y. Lin, formerly Sam Schwartz, and I'm here as a representative of T.Y. Lin. We were selected to lead the plan, and we've been involved with the plan for about the last year and 9 or 10 months. So before we dive in, I want to tell you a little bit about the plan's origin story. This project arose from the pandemic, and specifically from Mayor Thompson. The story that we heard was that she began organizing community walks and rides in 2020, and in doing so, gave rise to what ultimately became the Tour de Proviso and this collaborative plan. And there are advocates in the other 4 communities that I already mentioned who joined in with her to create the genesis for this plan. The Tour de Proviso also arose from that experience, and I hope I'll see some of you on October 4th because I'm very excited to write it. The goal of the plan is to provide a roadmap for how to improve and encourage walking and cycling, and we engaged the community to fill in all 5 municipalities via surveys, in-person events, school visits, and interviews. We identified specific places and programs across the 5 communities, and also within them, And then finally, we started to outline how to get going, right? How to staff and fund individual projects and what specific steps each of the communities need to take in concert and individually. Where typically a plan will involve one or maybe two communities, this is really an outlier in that it involves 5. I don't think I've ever heard of a plan involving 5 different communities, and so it's really exciting that all 5 communities got organized and got together to do this. It will allow, it'll be advantageous in the future. It'll be allow each community to apply for funding more easily. It'll allow them to apply for funding together. And it will allow them to access resources that they might not have been able to access individually. The plan was divided into 3 phases: getting to know the community, visioning, and plan development and approval. So in getting to know the community, we did a data analysis and community outreach section. The visioning phase guided the development of a key recommendations memorandum. And then finally, this summer, we worked on developing an actual plan document, and now this is the approval process. We are a little bit ahead of schedule. If you're curious about the previous 2 phases of the project, we have a project website that's hosted on CMAP's website. You can also find it by Googling West Cook Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan, and both the existing conditions and the key recommendations memorandums are available on the website. Over the course of the plan's development, there were 3 rounds of outreach, kind of beginning, middle, and then most recently this past summer. We held monthly executive committee meetings, and we held 5 advisory committee meetings. The advisory committee was made up of agency, nonprofit, school district, and community representatives. We attended various events, including several in the village of Broadview, and there was also online engagement, as I mentioned, via our website. There were online surveys, there were interactive maps, and we collected information that we received at the various outreach events we attended that I mentioned at the beginning of this slide. Through community engagement and through the existing conditions findings, key challenges and opportunities were identified, and that ultimately helped guide the recommendations that are incorporated into the final plan. So there are 3 different layers of funding. There's transformative projects. Yeah, I can, here, what if I'll lean in a little. Okay. There are 3 different types of plans, of recommendations in the plan. There's transformative projects, there's municipal projects, and there's neighborhood projects. So transformative projects are multi-municipality involved. Municipal projects are big projects but are contained within individual villages. And then neighborhood projects are at the scale of a single intersection or a mid-block crossing. So they're very, very localized, and they're intended to address specific issues at specific spots. In Broadview, there were 2 transformative projects. There was the low-stress bike network, and there was the 17th and 25th Avenue Bikeway. All recommendations are organized by tier. Tier 1 is short-term, Tier 2 is mid-term, Tier 3 is long-term. The plan does not propose any parking removal. So the low-stress bike network was kind of the linchpin of the whole recommendations. The idea of a low-stress bike network is that the entire 5 communities would be connected by low-stress bikeways. So what you see in all of the communities is that when you're within an individual neighborhood, you can navigate on foot or on a bicycle pretty easily, but then you run into pinch points. You run into Roosevelt, or you run into the highway, or you run into something, and you think, well, I guess I'll turn around now. And so what we wanted to do was really think about elevating the places that were already friendly to cyclists and to pedestrians, and then thinking about how to connect all of those different neighborhoods by being really strategic about where the pinch points were addressed and how we could help people get across them so that you could get to the library more easily, or the grocery store, or something that we heard over and over again is that people wanted better access to the Salt Creek Trail and the Illinois Prairie Path. So we really thought about how to do paths to the path. Ultimately, we ended up with 2 miles, 2.4 miles of low-stress bike network in Broadview. And what that looks like is this. So I'm actually a former Broadview Park District employee. I used to teach a fitness class at Schrader Park. I'm actually not sure which it is. And I would ride my bike down the Prairie Path and then down 9th Ave. So I was really excited both to be part of this project and to see that the way the low-stress bike network evolved. The idea, as I said, is to create more cross-community connectivity, but also to enhance pathways to major destinations. So in Broadview, that means we looked at 14th Street, which, as I mentioned before, is already low stress. Most people will be able to cycle and walk along 14th Street pretty comfortably. 16th Street, 16th Avenue, 9th Avenue, and Gardner Road. And you can tell by the color coding indicated here what the tiers, because we have tiers for every element of this project, ended up being. So 14th Street, 16th Street, and 16th Avenue are already pretty low stress, so what we're looking to do is just elevate that in people's mind so that they start to think this is a place where people are walking, this is a place where people are cycling, and if I'm behind the wheel, I need to be mindful of that. And then you try and get people coalescing on those sites, so it kind of becomes self-reinforcing. You have places like 9th Avenue. I find 9th Avenue pretty low stress south of Roosevelt, but it does have wide open spaces. It's a pretty wide road relative to the volumes of traffic, and so if you're someone who's coming through that intersection in a car, you can vroom pretty fast. And so what we're looking for in a situation like 9th Avenue is how can we make sure that we're elevating 9th Avenue for bicyclists and pedestrians and making sure that it's a truly shared space while reserving major thoroughfares for cars. And then finally, Gardner Road is similarly a place that is already pretty low traffic and has a lot going for it. It's got mature trees and it's got nice sidewalks, but it also has really big intersections. And so in the long term, it's tier 3, because in the long term, there are opportunities to look at making that a more bicycle and pedestrian friendly thoroughfare. The other two transformative projects in Broadview are 17th and 25th Avenue bikeways. As we mentioned before, you see a lot of the same pinch points across the village, and so 17th and 25th are both, we thought, worthwhile places to look at enhancing infrastructure because it helps you get to the Salt Creek Trail, especially on 17th Avenue. It also helps you cross Roosevelt, helps you cross 290, and we knew when we started the project that there were already some plans afoot to enhance multi-use shared paths on 25th, so we wanted to build on work that the village was already doing. So we want to extend the shared use path north of 14th Street. So municipal projects are intended for individual communities, so that's Bellwood, Berkeley, Broadview, Hillside, and Westchester to oversee. The two that I'm going to focus on very briefly are sidewalk completion and bicycle parking. So the sidewalk network in Broadview is already pretty good, but it could be better. Similarly, there are lots of places where you can comfortably bike, but there aren't necessarily places to put your bike once you get to places. So we were looking specifically at this building. I often see 2 bikes on the corner of Roosevelt and 25th when I go by, so we know that there is some latent demand for bicycle parking at this building. We also looked at Broadview Park District, Lindop, and then the 2 middle and elementary schools, Roosevelt. All right, and then finally, we looked at neighborhood projects. So neighborhood scale projects are really down to the level of a single intersection or even a mid-block crossing, right? We're looking at small scale, low cost tools for quick build, sometimes quick build, sometimes hard to build long-term infrastructure. So you can see some examples of what that might look like. A lot of this is done with paint and with flexible materials. It can be done quickly, and if it's a disaster, it can just be taken right out. What we find more often than not, though, is that even if there's trepidation before it goes in, people get used to it very quickly, and we do see people using the infrastructure once it's provided. As far as implementation goes, the West Cook Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan was intended to be an actionable roadmap to guide strategies into tangible next steps. So that's something that we tried to be really mindful of when thinking about all levels, transformative to neighborhood scale. We thought about looking at grants and external funding, operationalizing pathways into programmed work. So like, how can you make sure that things that are gonna happen anyway happen with bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure in mind? We looked at TIF districts or other financing tools, and a place that has used TIF really successfully is LaGrange Park. They're kind of notorious for having TIF'd everything that can be TIF'd. And that's a tool that's worked really well for them. And then another thing we thought about is working with developers to maximize gains of planned development agreements. So if there's a new apartment building going in on a corner, is there a crosswalk that should be there anyway? Since you're gonna have all these new people living there, do they need a place to walk, right? How can we make sure that we're planning for the development that's happening and working with developers to get the infrastructure that is appropriate as the village develops? And then we also looked at funding opportunities and grant readiness. So most grants happen on an annual calendar. So Invest in Cook is an example. Invest in Cook happens every year. It's sponsored by Cook County. If you want to apply, you can start planning because you know it's going to come around every year. And in the case of this plan, that might mean looking at intergovernmental agreements between Broadview and other communities. It might mean starting to draft the language. It might mean getting letters of support. And those are all things that we've started to lay out, including some sample grant language in the final plan. So I know it's a very packed agenda, and I went really quickly. Thank you so much for your time. If anyone has questions, I'd be happy to take them. Okay, well, to reiterate, if you have questions later, here is my email and Stephen's email. You can also find more information on the website. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve and CMAP team, for the presentation and actually working with all 5 communities. When we talk about partnerships and collaborations, this is one of the partnerships that we have with our municipalities in the Proviso Township. We identified some troubling areas as it relates to bike lanes and safe pedestrian right-of-ways. And when we start doing our tour day Proviso, 5 years ago, we identified a lot of systemic things that were taking place in community, and we wanted to address those issues. And so we were able to do that. But I'm happy to announce to the Village of Broadview, actually, this plan helped us with our comprehensive plan that was approved by the board. So this plan, we know it's a working document, it's an action item, and now we can look forward to how we plan financially to improve and enhance safe pathways for pedestrians. So thank you again, and that's it. Mr. Clerk, next on the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. Next is item 4, communications. We have nothing. Item 5, consideration to approve the following minutes. Minutes from the April 29th special board meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President, open for discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I saw that there was a correction that trustee Whipper had emailed you earlier.
Yeah.
Did you,
Yeah.
Okay. Trustee Chalmalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Whipper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk?
Roll call, trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next, minutes from the July 7th, 2025 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Trustee Chalmalabi, do you have any questions or comments?
No. No question.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Whipper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Mr. Clerk?
Roll call, trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 5-0. Thank you all. Next, minutes from the August 4th, 2025 regular board meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Chalmalabi, you have any questions or comments?
None.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Whipper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Thank
Roll
you.
call, trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee,
I'm sorry.
trustee Wimper.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Miller is absent. Madam President, this carries 5-0. Thank you. Next, item 6, consideration to approve expenditures. Grand total of all funds, $257,724.83 for the period ending 6/13/2025.
Motion to approve. Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Trustee Abraham, Finance Chairwoman, would you please read the warrant list from June 13th, 2025?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll read the warrant list for the date of 6/13/2025. Our first vendor is AT&T for the amount of $10,315.69. AT&T Long Distance, $3,398.13. Axon Enterprise Incorporated, $2,736.06. B&F Construction Code Services Incorporated, $25,725. Baker Tilly U.S. LLP, $10,719.45. Comcast Business, $5,077.84. Delgado Law Group LLC, $26,678.25. Enterprise FM Trust, $4,215.37. Fidelity National Title Company LLC, $5,540. Paramedic Billing Services Incorporated, $6,898.38. Paylocity, $2,611.37. SBC Waste Solutions, $44,492.44. ServPro of LaGrange Park, North Riverside, $5,625.36. Suburban General Construction Incorporated, $67,500.50. Theo Huff, $3,000. Tierpoint LLC, $2,636.87. Our total expenditures over $2,500 is $227,170.71. Total expenditures, $257,724.83. That is a percentage of total, 88%. We did have manual payment checks. The vendor, I have to read these into record, is Burke Beverage Incorporated. The date, 6/6/25. Check number 88249 in the amount of $1,886.70. Henry J. Brown Jr. Date, 6/6/25. Check number 88250, amount $475. Maurice Sawyer. Date 6/6/25, check number 88251 in the amount of $3,500. SBC Waste Solutions, date 6/6/2025, check number 88252 in the amount of $2,200. The fun ones, date 6/6/2025, check number 88253, amount $3,803.51. T. Moore Entertainment Incorporated, date 6/6/2025, check number 88254, amount $4,000. Valerie Lanotte, date 6/6/2025, check number 88255, amount $525. Victoria Botang, date 6/6/2025, check number 88256 in the amount of $350. West End 40, date 6/6/2025, check number 88257, amount $3,500. Total manual checks, manual payments, $20,240.21. Now for the funds that will be affected. General fund in the amount of $134,723.55. Garbage fund in the amount of $44,492.44. Motor fuel tax fund in the amount of $1,421.96. Roosevelt Road, 17th Avenue tip in the amount of $1,200. Capital Projects Fund in the amount of $4,459.12. Water and Sewage Fund in the amount of $71,427.76. Our grand total is $257,724.83. That is the end of my report for that period.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham. Trustee Chamalabi, do you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Let the record show what time she had arrived, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. Yeah, please let the record reflect that at 6:53, Trustee Miller arrived to the meeting. Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Abstain.
All right, Madam President, these bills carry 5-0 with one abstention to be paid. We have more bills to be paid. Consideration to approve expenditures, grand total of all funds, $610,823.77 for the period ending 8/27/2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham, seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Trustee Abraham, will you please read the warrant list from August 27, 2025?
This is the warrant list for 8/27/2025. First vendor is Al Warren Oil Company Incorporated, $9,871.79. AT&T, $8,340.21. B&F Construction Code Services Incorporated, $7,320. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, $139,864.48. Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency, $273,563.84. Chicago Uniform Company, $5,645.88. Core and Main LP, $3,869.56. Danny Moran, $3,000. David Ormsby Incorporated, $3,000. Delgado Law Group LLC, $28,472. Geno's Heating and Plumbing Incorporated, $8,782.85. Image Trend, $3,745. Lexipol LLC, $21,303.90. Lincoln National Life Insurance Company, $7,041.67. Mercury Systems Corp., $4,934.57. Montana and Welch LLC, $4,085. SBC Waste Solutions, $5,770. State Treasurer, $2,735.07. Total Parking Solutions Incorporated, $8,008.60. Valor Systems Incorporated, $5,854. West Cook County Solid Waste Agency, $21,238.72. Total expenditures over $2,500 in the amount of $576,447.14. Our total expenditures is $610,823.77. Our percentage of total is 94%. We also had manual payments. Again, I'm going to read the vendors into the record. Music Magic Moments, date 8/26/2025, check number 88606, $500. PLCCA, date 8/22/2025, check number 88605, amount $1,550. Total manual payments in the amount of $2,050. That is the end of my report. Sorry, let me do our funds. Fund number one, our general fund, in the amount of $293,852.40. Our garbage fund, $27,008.72. Motor fuel tax in the amount of $99.30. Capital projects fund in the amount of $292.50. Water and sewage fund in the amount of $289,570.85. Our total, $610,823.77. That is the end of my report.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham. Trustee Chalmalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No comments.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby, I'm sorry.
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Mr. Clerk?
Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Thank you all. Madam President, this carries 6-0 to pay these bills. And we have one final set of bills to pay for item 6, consideration to approve expenditures, grand total of all funds, $602,140.08 for the period ending 9/9/2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Abraham,
No.
seconded by trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you, Trustee Abraham. Will you please read the warrant list from September 9th, 2025?
Yes, ma'am. Warrant list for 9/9/2025. First vendor is Admin Consulting Specialist LLC in the amount of $4,500. AT&T, $20,161.48. AT&T Long Distance, $3,419.83. B&F Construction Code Services Incorporated, $8,525. Baker Tilly US LLP, $34,842.15. Cybra Group, $66,449.38. Comcast Business, $3,656.28. ComEd, $5,131.77. Custom Products Corporation, $6,307.23. Davy Resource Group, $2,500. Edwin Hancock Engineering Company, $19,451.68. Enterprise FM Trust, $19,358.51. Everlast Blacktop Incorporated, $281,828.71. Geno's Heating and Plumbing Incorporated, $34,936.50. SBC Waste Solutions, $58,522.49. Stryker Sales LLC, $2,591.08. Tierpoint LLC, $2,636.87. Train US Incorporated, $5,484. Total expenditures over $2,500. The amount is $580,302.96. Our total expenditures is $602,140.08. The percentage of total is 96%. We did have one electronic payment vendor for Chase credit card in the amount reflecting as of 8/29/2025 in the amount of $15,565.86. For the funds to be affected by this, Fund 1 is our general fund in the amount of $102,292.03. Our garbage fund in the amount of $58,522.49. The motor fuel tax fund in the amount of $131.77. Capital projects fund in the amount of $393,395.51. Water sewage fund in the amount of $42,798.28. The total amount was $602,140.08. That is the end of my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Chalmalave, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Mr. Clerk?
Roll call, Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And Madam President, this carries 6-0 to pay the bills. Thank you all. Next, item 7, application for the authority to expend funds totaling $16,150 for Spring Grove Nursery for the Public Works Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Abraham, seconded by Trustee Senior. Madam President.
Thank you. This purchase order by the Public Works Department is pretty much self-explanatory. This is to replace trees in our community, and we did receive a grant, so the $16,150 is covered by the grant. Trustee Chalmalave, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Mr. Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this passes 6-0. Thank you all. Next is item 8, village officer reports, which are given at each second meeting of the month, starting with our building department, Commissioner Dave Upshaw. And I don't believe I see, oh, there he is. Hey, Commissioner.
Good evening, Mayor, Board,
Good evening.
residents, everyone in attendance. The Village of Broadview Building Department report is on file with the mayor's and the clerk's office. Some of the highlights is that we have quite a few major projects going on in the village of Broadview and the Roosevelt Road corridor. We are in negotiation with a major food chain and a restaurant chain for development in the mall. What I'd like to take a few minutes of your time just to talk about the importance of property maintenance in the village of Broadview. As proud residents of the village of Broadview, we share a common goal: to keep our village strong, safe, vibrant for generations to come. One of the most impactful ways that we can do this, to achieve this, is by maintaining our properties with care and pride. Why does it matter? Number one, preserving property values. When we take care of our homes, lawns, buildings, we help preserve and even increase the value of our own property around us. A well-kept neighborhood is attractive to potential buyers, investors, which benefits everyone. Number two, community pride. Broadview is more than just a place to live. It's our community. Clean yards, trimmed bushes, repaired fences, maintained homes all reflect the pride we take in our village. When one property shines, it inspires others to do the same. Number three, a positive image for visitors and businesses, whether it's someone driving through our community, considering opening a business. Their first impression in Broadview is shaped by how our neighborhood looks. A clean, cared-for environment makes a lasting, positive impression. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the importance of property maintenance, because in Broadview, for the month of September, I should say from April till now, we had 37 home sales. For the month of September, we have 4 home sales. And on September the 2nd, we had a residential home to sell for $418,000. So I just wanted to comment on that, the importance of maintaining our community, being open, and we should all support and help our neighbors to keep our community clean, and it improves our property values. And it is demonstrated by the home sales. Right now, we have 22 properties listed, ranging from $225,000 to $390,000. Mayor, Board, that concludes my report. I entertain any questions at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner Upshaw. Trustee Chamalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No question.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
I do. I just want to make a comment to applaud that with the numbers of the homeowners. So thank you to our homeowners as we upkeep and maintain our properties, and also to you, Commissioner Dave, to making sure that your people are out there checking and making sure that we're maintaining the property. So that's a substantial jump, and it's awesome to hear that we sold a home for over $418,000. So it's amazing. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam President. Next is the Finance Department. Finance Director Tom Hood.
Director Hood and the finance team is at a training, so their report is on file. If the trustees have any questions about their report, just send them an email.
Thank you, Madam President. Next is the Fire Department. Interim Chief Matt Martin.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, everyone in attendance. The Fire Department monthly report is on file with the Mayor's office and the Clerk's office. Just a couple quick announcements from the Fire Department. We are hosting our annual open house, October 11th from 9 a.m. to noon. We will be posting flyers for that. There's going to be a lot of great events going on that morning. Please come out and visit us. We will have flu shots and a wide variety of other things happening for kids, adults, seniors. Everyone is welcome. And the other thing that I just wanted to make a note of is that we continue to offer CPR classes to the public. Please keep an eye out on our Facebook page. We'll continue to post those. If you have any questions about any of that, you can call the fire station Monday to Friday between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. That concludes my report, Mayor and Board, if you have any questions for me.
Thank you. Trustee Chamalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior? No questions. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
Oh, yes, you're also going to have a bake-off, right?
Yes, we are. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, we are having a bake-off. We will also post that flyer and a QR code to enter yourself into, register yourself and enter that bake-off contest. We do look forward to having as many entries as possible, and I'm sure our firefighters will enjoy being the taste testers, and we'll
Okay.
also have anyone else from the police department or Public Works join us if they'd like to help taste the wonderful goods that are made. So thank you for the reminder, trustee.
You're
Trustee Miller?
No.
Pride. Yeah, pride.
Prize.
Oh, a prize? Yeah. Community pride. Yeah,
Thank you, Chief.
you're welcome. Thank you. If there are no other questions,
No, thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Clerk?
Thank you. Next, we'll have our Police Department Chief Thomas Mills.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents, guests,
Good evening.
fellow colleagues in public service. Our report is on file with the mayor and the clerk's office. We are seeing a slight increase in cost for service, which is normal for this time of the year. Other than that, like I said, the big thing I would like to just ask the residents and everyone is turning to that time of the year where we're going from summer to fall and then to winter. And it's very important at this time that we remember to lock our car doors when we exit. That's in the mall area and especially our residents. You know, it's very easy to pull up, and we do have a very, very safe community, but even in the Proviso Township area where all the chiefs are talking, we're starting to see a rash of thefts from motor vehicles as people are jumping out of their cars, leaving them unlocked. So again, please, residents, guests, everyone who's listening, don't forget to lock your cars when you exit and not to leave your valuables in plain view. This is a crime of opportunity, and like I said, even when the people are just walking up and down the street, you know, this is what, you know, we do get camera footage from our people in the village of Broadview. They're very good at sharing, and we thank everyone for that. And as you see, they walk down, they're pulling on door handles, things like that. So again, we'll share things on our Facebook account as well, but please remember, lock your car doors and not to leave all your valuables in plain view. And other than that, Mayor, that's all we have. We will be at the fire department open house, and they're only bragging because they won the pie eating contest. So it's okay. We welcome the challenge.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions. Thank you, Chief.
Trustee Senior? No questions. Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
Yes, I just have something, a little statement here. Thank you, Chief Mills and Deputy Chief Johnson, oh, there she is, for your intentional leadership and for holding yourselves accountable as well as the teams you lead, ensuring that we are safe and protected during these times of uncertainty. Your commitment to safety and service is deeply appreciated. I also want to extend my gratitude to all of our police and fire personnel for serving with the highest level of professionalism and courtesy. Please stay encouraged, know that we stand with you and value the work you do every day. Next month, we will host a fundraising dedicating to raising awareness about domestic violence. I'm asking all of our residents to join me, along with the mayor and trustees, as we stand together in support of survivors and shine a light in this critical time and issue. I am also recommended that this event be free of charge to Broadview residents so that every member of our community has an opportunity to participate and show their support. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, trustee, and if I could just add, those words mean so much as a lot of our officers, both for the fire department and the police department, but I would be remiss if I did not include Director Ames and Public Works as they are out at the 0, dark 30 in the mornings. They're part of the first responders, and Commissioner Upshaw and his building department, we work together collaboratively to ensure the residents and the business owners and the passerbys in the village of Broadview receive the absolute best service that we can provide. And again, thank you for that support and the support of the mayor and the trustees. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All of you are greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Miller?
No question.
So I will say this, we've had a lot of activity in our public safety team with fire and police as it relates to the ICE facility in the village of Broadview. And the team that's standing in this room and those that may be watching or that's not here this evening, I personally want to say thank you. We've gotten numerous calls from media, from residents, emails on both sides of the conversation, and just know that myself is standing with our police department, supporting our fire department, because the attacks and the just unhumane aggressiveness of some of the demonstrators to our personnel put our public safety teams in harm's way. We're a very small department. We don't have a big department where we can run just 24 hours with 25 on our personnel. So it's been very challenging. So I will say to all of our Proviso Township and our local law enforcement and fire departments, I thank you, because they showed up when we called. And that's what partnerships and collaborations come into play in times of unpredictability and uncertainty. And so together we are Broadview Strong. And I support the leaders in this department and our fire department, our public works department. We played a huge critical role. It was very challenging last week for not just them, but for my office as well. So I just want to say, Chief Mills, Deputy Chief Johnson, Chief Martin, and all of your fire personnel in public works, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you all being professional and the comments that we got, like from emails from residents or, you know, those that was demonstrating, we even got demonstrators sending us emails of just the compliment of how professional our police department was and how they were treated. So what you see in the media is not always the truth. There are other people that's out there that want to demonstrate for their cause. And then you have those that's agitators that want to create chaos, confusion, and division amongst all of us in communities. This is a time for America and communities to stand together. Even in our differences, we have to stand together and ring the bell loud and clear. We're Americans first, and we're better than what we're seeing in the media today. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Next, we'll hear from the Public Works Department Director, Matt Ames.
Good evening, everyone in attendance.
Good evening.
And I agree with you, Mayor. I would like to say first to the police officers, thank you. I was out there, and I got to witness with my own eyes the professionalism, the calm. And Mayor, you're absolutely correct. What is being portrayed in the media is absolutely not what's happening on Beach Street, most certainly with the Broadview Police Department. So that being said, our monthly report is on file with the mayor's office and also the clerk's office. And rather than provide highlights, because I will be back up here talking about a more significant project, I will open myself up to questions or comments at this time.
Trustee Chalmalave? Trustee Senior? Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
I would just like to thank Public Works. We had our joint committee meeting earlier this month, and really very insightful. And I guess one thing I would say to residents also, that particularly one piece, I know we always get the call about the trees. They haven't cut my trees, they haven't cut my trees. And one thing Director Ames did explain to us is there's a list, and there's a priority list. So your tree may be on the list. It's just they have to go through the process of getting the more severe ones down before potentially your tree comes down. So I think that was very insightful. The other thing is some people are always concerned about like their water bills, and you should probably call Public Works to find out, because they have a system that can tell. Sometimes you may have a leak. So I think those are some two major things. Sometimes when residents get concerned about particular things, give Public Works a call to get understanding instead of just complaining about a situation.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Shelby?
And yes, and I really appreciated that meeting to let me know that I was still on the list to get my trees trimmed too. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Miller?
In regards to the uproar that we've had lately, someone did point out to me, I guess they met Director Ames over by the Eye Center. I don't know how, but it was a sheriff who said, I met your public works director, and I think he was more calm than I've ever seen him before. And I was like, okay, cool. So it was kind of, I guess, an appraisal on his part where he just was like, besides us already knowing we have the best police department in the world, and I'll say that, with the fact that some of y'all may crucify me, but that's okay. I was kind of happy to hear them say, like, yeah, I've seen him before, and he was a little different, but this time, like, he was really cool. And I was like, Matt was cool, okay.
They wanted to fire.
That might be why you were cool, but he actually said he witnessed like some of the public works directors outside, not directors, but workers outside actually picking up debris. And he was like, they was cool too. So yes, outside influences happen, but I'm glad that people are noticing that our departments still maintain composure, even when we're under attack and fire. So, and not fire legitimately, but fire from people. But thank you for being calm and cool now to some people that have met you before, so thanks.
Well, thank you. What they don't know is that I've been programming that, right, Mayor? In all seriousness, thank you all. That concludes my report, Mayor, if there's anything.
Thank you, Director Ames. So I will say a couple of things that came up. The Public Works, Water, Health, and Drainage Committee is on our YouTube page for those that want to take an opportunity to get the information. So just go to the Village YouTube page. And to Trustee Miller's point of the professionalism, not just in our fire and police departments, but also in our Public Works team. For the past 2 years, we've all leadership, and I'm talking about those that's under my direct leadership, the fire chief, the police chief, public works director, our administrator, our finance director, myself, we've been going through a series of professional development. Not looking at what we go through in our respective departments, but how we practice empathy, love, and kindness on another type of level on how you interact with people, whether it's internal or external. And I'm glad to hear that the work that they put into these programs, that they actually utilizing it and it's being recognized from people that traditionally don't get to work with us every single day. So kudos to the whole entire team for going through that process because it was a lot of work. A lot.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Director Ames. Next, we have the Administrative Department, Village Administrator Latisa Jones.
Her report is on file. She had a death in the family. That's why she's not here today.
I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Madam President. That'll conclude item 8. Next is item 9, old business. We have none. Item 10, new business. Starting with item A, a motion to authorize the promotion of Police Officer Sean McIlvaney to the rank of Sergeant for the Village of Broadview Police Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Wimper, seconded by Trustee Shelby. Madam President, before we do the swearing in, let's go ahead and do the roll call and vote. So you have questions, it's open for questioning.
Yep, Trustee Chalmalave?
No questions.
Trustee Senior? No questions. Trustee Abraham?
No questions?
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
So I will say before we go to the swearing in, I just want to say congratulations. Like, I can never pronounce your last name. That's number one. McIlvaney. When he first came to the department, he was first in his class. Am I correct? First in his class, have excelled like in abundance in different things that he participate. You're also a part of the SRT team, right? And after this, I want you to explain what that is. But this is the quality of people that we have in our police department, intentional leadership with public safety in the forefront of everything that he does. whether it's on our law enforcement Special Olympic run, he always win the race or come second or third. You know, he's the braggadocious of the police department. We always highlight and brag about his talent that he has because he represents us so well. So this is so deserving that he ranks up to sergeant, because we know that his leadership is going to be bar none, standing next to his wife. And I usually see him in a stroller, or her in a stroller. Because she runs too. So I'll turn it over to the clerk.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. We're going to have a roll call now. Please, Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave?
Yes.
Trustee Senior? Yes. Trustee Shelby?
Yes.
Trustee Wimper?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
And Madam President, this carries 6-0. All right, let's get Mr. Sergeant sworn in. Okay, sir, if you can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name,
Sean McElvany,
having been appointed to the office of sergeant
have been appointed to the office of sergeant
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois,
in the village of Broadview, county of Cook, state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Police Department
of the Broadview Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Subscribed and sworn this 15th day of September 2025. Congratulations, sir.
So while Sergeant McElvaney is signing his documents, I'll just share a little information about him. He joined us in 2022, right out of the academy. He tested, as the mayor said, scored very well, finished top of his class. And since he has come here, as you can tell by his wonderful accent, he's from Ireland. And the feedback we would get from the citizens when he first hit the street was a lot of them said they didn't understand him on traffic stops and things like that. And as you can see by his fellow officers that's out here, and if some of them are just getting off, some worked all day, and like I said, we've been pulled very thin with the demonstrations we've been having to help everyone would be here. He is probably one of the most appreciated but very low-key individuals we have in the police department. And what the mayor didn't say was that he scored #1 on the sergeant exam, in which he's getting promoted on. And lastly, as you can see, his wonderful wife, she's a police officer, also serving in public service for the University of Illinois Chicago Police Department. So and they have 2 wonderful kids. And his goal is continue advancing within the Broadview Police Department and take on greater leadership responsibilities. Well, I see you going in the right direction. But again, we'd like to thank you for all of you've done for the Broadview Police Department to this point, and we look forward, Deputy Chief. We had to bring in another Irishman, Commander McCruden, to help keep his name together, and then Lieutenant Florentino. We all look forward to working with you, mentoring you, providing you all the leadership so you can provide the best service to the residents of the village of Broadview and the business stakeholders, everyone who passes through. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. If you want to say something.
So the mayor wanted me to explain what the SRT is. SRT stands for Special Response Team. So it's made up of a lot of different towns in the Proviso Township, and basically they do a lot of different things. One of the main things that they do is they'll work at different fests. Like recently we worked out at the Bellwood Fest, Maywood Fest, just to make sure everybody's safe. A lot of other things that they'll do is they'll do high-risk things. They'll serve high-risk warrants, they'll go to different high-risk situations, and they are specially trained in doing those different types of things. I am a recent member, I still have a lot of training to go to for that as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. And just before I hand the microphone back, I just wanted to say thanks to Chief, Command Staff, and more so anything than that is the patrolmen that I work with have been pushing me the whole way and have been a big support. My wife has always supported me. When I told her that I was thinking of taking the sergeant's exam, at first she was a little taken back because she knows how much I love just being a patrolman, but she was huge in supporting me the whole way through, taking the exam right up to now. And then real quick, before I hand it back, my parents can't be here tonight because they live in Ireland. They are watching online, so shout out Mom and Dad. Thank you very much.
And lastly, as you see, he's a smaller individual, but his heart is so big. The equipment he's tasked to wear when he dresses up is probably heavier than him. It's unbelievable, but he is phenomenal. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll have item B, a motion to authorize the hiring of firefighter paramedic James O'Donnell for the Village of Broadview Fire Department.
Motion to approve.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Shelby. Madam President.
Thank you. Trustee Malabi, you have any questions or
No
comments?
question.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
I will say congratulations and welcome to Broadview Strong and the fire department. We've been short some time, and so you helping us fill some of that gap, and I know that by you starting, it's been extremely busy. You're probably working more than ever. But I just want to personally say thank you for staying the course with us. Chief Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. Board of Trustees, just a quick introduction of firefighter James O'Donnell. James, who goes by Danny, and insisted we call him Danny, comes to the Broadview Fire Department with 3 previous years of experience. Over the past 3 years, he and his fiancee, Marissa, lived in South Carolina, where firefighter O'Donnell was working for the Goose Creek Fire Department. He and his fiancee relocated to the area, and that led him to the Broadview Fire Department. Danny was born and raised in Ventura, California. He played hockey in college and holds a bachelor's degree from Aurora University. And today we want to recognize his hard work, dedication, and the trust that's placed in him to serve with honor and distinction with the Broadview Fire Department. Congratulations, Danny, and welcome to the team. And you as well, Marissa, welcome to the team.
Okay, now we'll ask for a roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chamalabe.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
And this carries 6-0, Madam President. We'll get them sworn in. Hello, sir. If you can raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
James O'Donnell,
having been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic
have been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic
in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois,
in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Fire Department
of the Broadview Fire Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Subscribed and sworn this 15th day of September 2025. Congratulations, sir. Welcome aboard. All right, Mayor, can we proceed to item C? All right, next is item C, a motion to authorize the hiring of firefighter paramedic Sherry Wanowskis, I hope I'm not butchering your name, for the Village of Broadview Fire Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior and seconded by trustee Abraham. Madam President?
Thank you, trustee Chamalave. You have any questions or comments?
No question.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No questions.
Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Well, I will add that I'm super excited about this swearing, and not that any other matters, I mean, that they don't matter, because they do, but I'm excited about this because it's a female. And when we talk about how we look at being diversified in our departments, we look at all things, right? And so I'm really excited that you're here with us. If it's anything, you want to talk about women issues and things that we can make better. I know we did make some accommodations over there for the last female firefighter that was there, so you should see some of those things that's over there already. But I'm really excited about the diversity that's being created in our fire department under the leadership of Chief Martin, so thank you for the hire. And that's all I have. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Sherry, would you
Roll call.
please come up?
Roll call. Roll call.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. All right, we'll now have a roll call. Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Chamalave?
Yes.
Trustee Senior?
Yes.
Trustee Shelby?
Yes.
Trustee Wimper?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
And this too carries 6-0. Thank you all. Now we get the swearing done. Woo. Okay,
I'll do it after. I'll do it.
if you can raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I,
I, Sherry Wanowskis,
having been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic
have been appointed to the office of firefighter paramedic
in the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois,
in the Village of Broadview, the County of Cook, in the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Broadview Fire Department
of the Broadview Fire Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Subscribed and sworn this 15th day of September 2025. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mayor and Board of Trustees, just a quick introduction on firefighter Wanowskis. Sherry Wanowskis comes to the Broadview Fire Department having previous experience at Romeoville Fire Department and Little Rock Fox Fire Protection District. Sherry was born and raised in Chicago and probably maintains her roots on the southwest side. She currently lives in Yorkville. with her wife Kelly of 6 years. And they are proud parents of Grace, who's 12, and Connor, who's 14. Their family enjoys camping in Oregon, Illinois, spending time outdoors and listening to country music. And today we want to recognize her hard work, her dedication to the fire service, and the trust that's placed in her to serve with honor and distinction with the Broadview Fire Department. I want to personally congratulate you, Firefighter O'Donnell, both of you. Welcome to the Broadview team. We're glad to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Martin. Next, Mr. Clerk.
All right, here we go. We're going to continue on to item D, approval of a resolution.
Hold on one second, Mr. Clerk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're just gonna wait today. The families, if they choose to.
All right, continuing to item D, approval of a resolution related to the Mayor's Educational Task Force to improve reading proficiency, student attendance, and support a cradle-to-career pipeline in the village of Broadview.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. So the Mayor's Educational Task Force is real simple. We have low reading and math scores within our districts. In the village of Broadview, we have 6 school districts: District 92, District 88, District 89, District 94, High School District 209, that's Proviso Township, and Riverside Brookfield District 208. And so as we start having conversation on a national level, we created a national task force for education for mayors. And so I'm bringing this to our community because we're building a pathway for every child from cradle to career. The mission is to ensure that every child in Broadview has the tools, resources, and opportunities to succeed from early childhood through college, through career, and beyond. Our goals are very simple: early childhood, elementary and middle school, high school, college, and career. The commitment is the Broadview Cradle to Career Roadmap with measurable goals. So that means that we'll have this task force that will have measurable goals, and we'll have professional in every entity, nonprofits, our educational leadership, our Broadview Library, our Broadview Park District, a holistic approach to the well-being of every student to have a quality education. That we will have quarterly progress reports on literacy, attendance, and youth engagement. What I found was most interesting, Lindop School had a strategic plan. And what I didn't know is that attendance was such a critical entity of a student's education. When the student is not in the chair ready to learn, the school loses funding. If the school is losing funding, guess who else is gonna lose? The taxpayer. That means taxes can go up because the school is gonna make sure that they increase taxes so that every student could be educated. And it's a community responsibility as well. So if communities step up and take the whole child holistic approach, we will see a definite change in our students. The annual Cradle to Career Summit will celebrate progress and set priorities for our children in the village of Broadview, who are our Broadview Young Scholars. Trustee Chalmalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No questions.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
No question, I just say I look forward to it. I've done similar work in the Chicago school system. When you've seen over the time, like how their graduation rates have increased when you pay attention to attendance and grades, particularly in math and reading.
Thank you. Trustee Shelby?
No questions.
Trustee Miller?
No.
Mr. Clerk?
Roll call. Trustee Abraham.
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalabi.
Yes.
Trustee Senior.
Yes.
Trustee Shelby.
Yes.
Trustee Wimper.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Abstain.
Abstain. And this carries 5-0 with 1 abstention, Madam President. Next item, E, a resolution authorizing and approving a contract and rider with Furpo Construction USA, LLC, for certain water main lining rehabilitation work for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by trustee Senior, seconded by, was that trustee Chalmalabi? Thank you. Madam President?
Thank you, Director Ames. You want to tell us about this?
Yeah, the company is FurPow. And FurPow specializes in water main linings, actually sewer linings as well. I'm sorry. They specialize in water main linings and also sewer linings. But for this particular project, 12th Avenue, 2600 block, we want them to line the water main so that we can replace the lead service lines. So, and I believe Finance Director Tom Hood in the budget presentation mentioned that this was, in essence, a pilot project for us to see whether or not it was something that we can program long-term. As we know, we have to replace our lead service lines throughout the village over the next 17 years. And this method, we thought, well, we know if in fact it proves itself operationally and get past some of the logistical challenges that we've encountered in the past, it would reduce our cost by a third for replacing the lead service lines throughout the village. So obviously our intent is to replace the water mains, but this is, again, for all intents and purposes, a pilot project for us to prove its sufficiency. So I will further expound that Tom Hood also located it in the water 786827 fund account is what it was allocated to. So it has been funded. In fact, we wanted to start the project this week, but because of the timing of the board's convening, we had to push it back until next week. So if in fact it is approved tonight, we will begin the project on the 22nd. We do have a letter of notification for the residents. We've already begun the investigation on the block within the individual homes to determine whether or not a full service line will be replaced or short side, meaning from the water main to the curb stop. So it is looking pretty good on that block. That block was apparently developed right at about the time that copper was the material of preference in construction. So, yeah. Is there anything else that I should be reporting, Attorney?
No, not that I can think of, just that they did agree to a rider that sort of closed up some gaps between their contract and Illinois state law with some required language regarding prevailing wage and stuff like that, so all that is in there.
Thank you, Director Ames. The cost of this contract is $224,880, is that correct?
Well, that's for the items 1 through 9. So the subtotal is for the first 9 items, and then you have items 10 and 11, right? So that's the actual lead service line replacements. So that was an itemized number because we didn't have a count, and actually we still don't have a complete count because there was 3 locations, I believe. Well, we couldn't key it off to get inside the property and so forth and so on.
So what's the total amount of the contract?
The total amount of the contract would probably work itself out to a little more than $500,000.
Can you take a minute to add up what you got in the proposal of the total amount?
You mean 1 through 9? Are you talking about the
Yeah, what I have as total is $224,880. That's items 1 through 9. And then I'm looking at 10 and 11 for an additional $10,450 and $8,880.
That's correct.
So it's,
That's correct. So depending on what is discovered, what is actually discovered out in the field.
then they need to come back to us for, get approval for additional items. So what we can approve is what you submitted for approval tonight, which is 200, 800, which the total amount is $244,130. That's what's before the board.
Madam President, for the record, was that 244,130?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
244, 224.
$244,130. So for items 1 through 9, the total was $224,880. And then you had items 10 and 11, which one was for each unit is $10,450, and then $800 and $800. So you got item 1 through 11.
Right.
So I'm confused, Mayor. Can you help me, please, understand what it is that you're asking for? Because the contract.
I'm asking for the dollar amount that you're asking the board to approve, the total.
Well, the dollar amount would be $550,000 based off of the information that we have today.
But that's not what's presented to the board.
I believe it is. And items.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just looking at the information that was submitted.
All right, you have a subtotal, Mayor, and then you have.
You want to see what I'm looking at?
If.
Because obviously you don't have what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this,
Right.
Yes, but you added your own, that it needs to be what's,
Yeah, 10. So,
that's,
per item.
but how many items?
So right now, we've discovered 17, and that number could change because there's 3 locations that we have not got inside of. And we won't be able to make that determination until construction actually starts and we start actually potholing, excavating the curb.
And when is that going to start?
On the 22nd, as a matter of fact.
So if that's starting on the 22nd, you can come back and ask for additional funding for the project. If it's been allocated in the budget for, what is it allocated in your budget for?
$250,000.
Okay, so right now you at $244,130. That's what,
Yeah.
not with 10 and 11, 10 and 11 is each. So right now, what's before the board is $224,880. And once they drill, you'll be able to give us a solid number. So to get the work started, we're looking at $224,880.
To get the work started, I guess, I can't, when you say to get the work started.
Okay, you got two options. Take the $224,880 or table it until you get all the information. Because we don't have all of the information to make a financial decision. Based off a budget, we need to look at the budget.
Okay, so your suggested direction is, again, please help me to make sure that I'm clear about it.
What's before the board is what you propose, $224,880. This is the contract. Anything additional is not included. We don't have the numbers.
Attorney, am I missing something? Can you help me, if nothing else, understand what's being presented? Because the contract in its totality, including the rider that was presented to it, is real specific on unit numbers. And while I do understand what you're asking for, Mayor, to a large degree, we won't have a complete number, okay? We won't have a complete number until we are able to go into all of the units and discover exactly what's up in there.
And you can come back to the board at that time to get the work started. I'm looking at your attachment, which is A. Trustee Chalmalabi, you have any questions or comments?
No questions.
Trustee Senior?
No question.
Trustee Abraham?
No questions.
Trustee Wimper?
So the one question I have. Okay. So with the contract and general contract, so I hear both sides of this, is there a percentage that gets put down regardless? So do you have to just pay a certain amount, or all of it is being asked for in full, I guess?
Well, right now, this contract sits at, and what we've discovered and investigated so far, $550,000.
So we have to pay it all up front. So it's not one where you say, here is a fourth, kind of?
No, no. As a matter of fact, we do make progress payments. This is a 30-day project. So by the time that it's completed, the board would have probably met once and, again, so.
We have another board meeting in 2 weeks.
So tell me exactly, specifically what you would like the contract to say.
It's not what I want the contract to say. I want to be financial, accountable, and responsible to what the ask is. So the ask is, what we're looking at is $224,880. That's what's presented to the board. Items 10 and 11 has each unit. We don't know how many units. So to get the work started, I would recommend that the board approve $244,130 because that would give us one unit in items 10 and 11. Once you identify that, we come back in 2 weeks, you'll have a number to give to us to let us know what the final numbers are. And we can put that in the contract for board approval because it's budgeted for $500,000, but that's not what's before us.
I think that's fair. That's
The next board meeting is October 6th, so if it's a 30-day a 30-day window, you got time, or the company has time to do everything that we need.
Well, this is what I am going to do. I will most certainly present this to the company and see how they want to move forward. If in fact they want to wait for whatever reason until we can, to your point, come with a total number plus a contingency, because there's always that unknown fee item that's going to show itself. I don't have a problem either way. So if you want to approve it based off of the items 1 through 9, I'm pretty clear about that. And items 10 and 11, we can come back and present, if nothing else, what that total number would look like. So
Okay, so what I recommend is that we approve 1 through 9 in one unit for $10,450,000 and one unit for $800 for a total of $244,130. Then that way they give you that one thing that we can move forward. We can keep moving the needle. Trustee Shelby, do you have any questions or comments?
No, as long as we're going to approve it for the 244,000, or we're just going to approve for the 224. I don't, are we?
No, it should be 224. Those are the subtotals that are very, very clear right now. To your point, if in fact you wanted to include items 10 and 11,
Yeah.
we've already identified 17 locations that's going to require that. But if in fact, what I'm understanding, that I'm hearing from the mayor, is that she wants that subtotal complete, the subtotal for items 10 and 11. So, once again, what I will do is present it and see how they want to move forward. If in fact they want to, hold off, let me tell you that the timeliness of this is because we have to provide temporary water service that's going to be above ground, right? So it's a 30-day process, but we have to provide temporary water. So just giving you the...
Are you holding off, I'm sorry, on 10 and 11, and we're just going to go 1 through 9?
I believe that was the request.
Okay.
I believe that was the request.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I ask a question? So 10 and 11, there are 17 units already
That we've
10 and
identified.
11 it applies to. There are 3 that
Are
not
unknown.
unknown.
That's correct.
So where are the 17 on here for the 10 and 11? Is there, I'm sorry, I haven't,
Those locations, we have a spreadsheet, as a matter of fact.
okay. So I guess that's the piece that's missing, is that
Yeah.
10 and 11 would apply to those 17 addresses, and we don't see
Did I
that
pick up
here.
somebody else's phone? Oh, this is yours. I left mine back there. But yeah, we do, trustee, but yeah, we have a spreadsheet.
I guess that's what's
Yeah,
missing.
Yeah, we have a
So
working
that's the cost for
spreadsheet
each
that
unit. We have
identified
17.
exactly whether or
Okay.
not they have a spigot that will receive the reverse water that we plan to provide to them, and that's not before me. I can pull it up on my phone.
That's not necessary. You can email it to the trustees.
Okay.
Trustee Miller, do you have any questions or comments?
I have a few. So I see the terms of the agreement are for about 5 months, not 30 days. I'm guessing that the terms is separate from the timetable that it would take them from start to quote-unquote finish. I don't know how we would know the 30 days there. And as far as, I guess, breaking it out per unit, if they're already in the project and it's open, how does that expose the line if they have to wait 2 weeks to get approval for those 17 or 20 lines there? That's my second question. And then my third question was, I lost it. But, so, I don't know how we came up with this particular vendor, but did something go out for bid for others to bid on this? And then my fourth and final question, I heard you say that it was budgeted for $250,000, but it seems like we're projecting about $500,000.
So the water main portion, trustee, you're absolutely correct. The water main and lining part is a $250,000 part. Unfortunately, we don't have a finance director here. The lead service lines were treated as emergency swap outs, right? For all intents and purposes. So I do know that he has allocated funds for the entire project, understanding the scope of it. When he made his presentation, I believe that he was a vocal advocate for, if nothing else, the project. But that being said, no, it is a no bid. You're absolutely correct. This is the only company in the state of Illinois that provides this service. I brought that up as a concern with the mayor and the attorney, and we do. We have the authority to bypass the bid process. You know, and again, here's the transparency of it all. Once again, this is a pilot program for us. If in fact it's successful over the next 17 years, estimated $30 million cost for replacing these lead service lines goes down by at least a third, okay? So that's the whole intent and purpose behind this. So, the other question, trustee, please, if you can.
So I said with the 2-week window of us having our next board meeting and them potentially starting the project on Monday, how would that impact the open lines, if there are open lines, once they start the process of finding that out?
Well, I don't necessarily know that it's gonna, here, let me give you the time frame and what's being proposed. So we have the first week, you have disconnection. Second week, you have temporary water. Third week, you have sewer, water main lining. The fourth week, you have the permanent service line connections and the restoration. Okay? So.
Okay, so we're providing temporary water for about 2 to 3 weeks.
About
Does-
2 to 3 weeks, that's
Does
correct.
that, so my ability to shower versus someone else's ability down the street to shower, or how is it gonna impact how much water certain, or each individual house has, and the availability that we have to give it to them?
It won't affect them at all.
Okay.
So we've done this portion, or at least When we did Roosevelt Road water main replacements from 18th Avenue down to 10th Avenue. So there's a section of that transmission main that we couldn't open trench. We couldn't excavate, pour the pipe out of the ground, and put new pipe back into the ground. So this method was proposed to us, and we had great success. So they were able to cross from new to use 17th Avenue through Walgreens and connect back up at 16th Avenue and head down to our pump station, right? So we've had success with it. We've seen the temporary water service and how it's provided above ground. The question or the concern was whether or not this application would be effective for us in our residential, which is obviously a lot more densely populated and some other challenges that you don't necessarily have on Roosevelt Road or, like I said, an open space like that. Yeah, there is no normal interruptions, or should I say, interruptions to normal use of your water once that temporary connection is made.
Okay. I think that's it for me. We could talk about it later, but I'm in agreement for the $224,880, only because I feel like, one, it's just a drop in the bucket to approve just one line for whatever. I think we need a whole picture of how many lines are gonna come in that 2-week period. So if it can come back before I get it, it's a quote and it's proposed, but if it can come back before us for us to kind of give the final decision, that would be great.
I think that is probably prudent just simply because we don't have a finance director here, and I've been trying to communicate with him, if nothing else, to make sure that if nothing else, we can identify the funding source for the project. So I don't have a problem with that at all, okay? What I will do is, once again, communicate. If in fact the vendor is not watching this live, I'm absolutely sure our village engineers are, and they will most certainly communicate this piece to them. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So to be real clear, the finance director job is to make sure we have the funds to pay the bills. And so being prepared is also key. So the approval of this contract is $224,880. We need a motion. Well, we already had a motion in a second.
Second.
We already had it.
You ready for a roll call, Mayor?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Roll call. Trustee Abraham?
Trustee Abraham?
Yes.
Trustee Chalmalave?
Yes.
Trustee Senior?
Yes.
Trustee Shelby?
Yes.
Trustee Wimper?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
And Madam President, this carries 6-0 to approve this as presented in the amount of $224,880. Thank you all. Next item F, a resolution authorizing and approving an agreement.
Thank you.
With Impact Networking LLC for the Village of Broadview, County of Cook, State of Illinois.
Second.
It's been properly motioned by Trustee Senior, seconded by Trustee Abraham. Madam President.
Thank you. I'm going to ask for this item to be tabled because I reached out to the finance director for more information. The information that was presented to the board is just unacceptable. So,
I'll make a motion to table, Mayor, to our next board meeting.
You made a motion to table it?
yes.
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, a superseding motion to table this has been made by Trustee Miller, seconded by Trustee Abraham. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
And it's
opposed
tabled
say
until the
nay.
next meeting.
Pardon me, Mayor?
To the next meeting.
Okay, yes, this will be tabled until the next meeting. What was it, October?
October 6th.
October 6th. Thank you all. Yeah, this was unanimous, 6-0. All right, thank you. Next is item 11, Village Clerk's Report. I have nothing. And then after that, we have our public comments. Prior to going to public comments, let me just do some housekeeping. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The Village of Broadview encourages citizen input. Those wishing to address the village board under public comments must fill out the attached speaker request form and submit it to the village clerk prior to the start of the board meeting. The president will then call your name at the appropriate time. When addressing the village board, your remarks are limited to 3 minutes. When the president recognizes you, please state your name and address for the record and speak into the microphone. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Madam President, first.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I have Sarah Elizabeth.
Greetings, Mayor Thompson and trustees. Look at all these incredible women, and happy
Good
birthday,
evening.
Trustee Senior. Thank you for allowing public participation. These remarks are for you and all the beautiful residents of Broadview. My name is Dr. Sarah Elizabeth, and I've been a professor of education at NYU, Loyola, Roosevelt, and DePaul Universities and UIC, so I can help with the literacy test scores. I'm also a cyclist who sustained 9 fractures after a reckless driver almost killed me, so thank you for your work on cyclist and pedestrian safety. I speak to you today in solidarity as someone committed to social justice and equity, and is especially concerned about the children of Broadview and nearby areas, and one of the anti-ICE peaceful protesters from Friday who was exposed to tear gas. I imagine you may have heard the traditional greeting of Maasai warriors, Kastarian Injera, which translates to "and how are the children?" Your children and the children of immigrants, legal and undocumented, and even many children of black and white families stressed by the violence and uncertainty are not well, not as well as they could be. When parents are anxious or terrified, children are too. Can you imagine the grief and trauma of the children of all those detained without due process? I and other concerned citizens are on your side. We support you in this difficult predicament you're in. We, the protesters, are not your enemy. We are your collaborators. I and many others encourage you to ask for support from other elected officials at every level of government, from U.S. Senators Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin to Broadview's Congressperson Danny Davis to Governor Pritzker and Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton to your Illinois State Senator Kimberly Lightford to your Illinois State Rep Chris Welch to your Cook County Commissioner Tara Stamps. I suspect all of these amazing elected officials, not to leave out Chicago's amazing Mayor Brandon Johnson, would support your decision to implement the 2021 Illinois Way Forward Act, which forbids any local government agency from signing agreements with the federal government to detain immigrants and limits Broadview's law enforcement cooperation. The act strengthens provisions in the earlier Illinois Trust Act by further decoupling local police from federal immigration enforcement activities. This includes restrictions on using local facilities and resources for ICE operations like at 1930 Beach Street. It includes restricting detaining individuals at the request of ICE without a judicial warrant and assisting ICE in raids or transferring people into ICE custody. Please be on the right side of history. Please collaborate with all these amazing elected officials, all of your community members, even the undocumented ones, to keep the children of Broadview and nearby suburbs and neighborhoods safe. Your children and grandchildren are watching. What will you tell them about 2025 and how you collaborated with or resisted racist, classist oppression? A couple of other friends want to make comments, but there were no other forms before the meeting available, and they're willing to let other Broadview residents go first if they like, but whether the tear gas sprayed at peaceful protesters and the heavy visible firearm presence of ICE has affected their children or their concerns about the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Elizabeth, for your public comment. Next on the agenda, Mr. Clerk.
Next is item 12, Village President Report, Mayor Katrina Thompson.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by addressing the current affairs of ICE in Broadview. I want to commend our excellent work of our Broadview Police Department, Fire Department, and our Public Works team. I also want to thank all of our proviso mayors who have stepped up to assist our teams. This is what resiliency and collaboration look like. As we face unpredictable times and uncertainty, we remain strong in our values. Our first priority will always be the safety of our residents, our business stakeholders, and our visitors. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and keep our community informed on new development as they arise. On a note of good news, the Village of Broadview was awarded $5,000 from the African American Mayors Association to support financial literacy. Be on the lookout because we will be invested in and educating Broadview scholars and their families through this program, building wealth and closing the gap begins with education. In addition to our Public Works Department, we've received $200,000 from the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, for roadway improvements. These improvements will include 14th Street from 12th Avenue to 9th Avenue and Elizabeth Drive from Sunnydale Avenue to Terry Lane. The project will repair roadway surfaces, replace failing curbs and gutters, fix drainage and structures, and begin pedestrian ramps into compliance for accessibility. I also want to thank everyone who supported the recent Party with a Purpose. Because of your generosity, we are able to bless so many people in need. All of the donated items will go to the Westchester Food Pantry and the Women's Shelter and Treatment Center. And congratulations to all of the department heads who completed the Dare to Lead program, as well as the NLC Professional Development Academy. This was a 12-week high-performance course that engaged leaders from across the nation. Together, we learned the power of positive mindset and principles of positive leadership, planning, executing, and sustaining change through communication, collaboration, and negotiation. We were reminded that true leaders always have a bias toward action, focusing on their energy on achieving positive outcomes. To reach extraordinary results, we must function as a team at the highest level, even in challenging times. I believe strongly that no weapon formed against us will prosper. We are truly Broadview strong. Thank you to the leaders who run our operations with integrity, intention, and professionalism. You matter, and in trying times, you continue to rise above the noise. As a reminder, we are now off our summer schedule. Our next board meeting will be held on October 6th at 6:30. Stay alert, be wise, practice love and kindness. God bless you. Now, I want to address Dr. Elizabeth's comment, because I know without doubt or contradiction that the values that we uphold in the village of Broadview, we are for all people. We have been with the demonstrators, and what a lot of people don't know is that the ICE Center been here, or the facility, the federal building, been here for almost 30 years, way before my time. And we are a non-home rule community. So we follow the Illinois state statute as it relates to statutes and all of the things. And I know Illinois has passed legislation as it relates to all of the things regarding using resources in reference to ICE and detainees and stuff. The work that I do every single day, the first thing I think of when I get up and meditate and pray, I always think about the people that's maybe caused harm. And it's not just our Hispanic communities or our Latino communities. It's the African American communities too, because we're under attack as well. We are under attack in a lot of different areas, and this is a very scary time. We put out communication pieces to the residents. We sent that communication to all of the Proviso Township mayors. We sent it out to every superintendent, with one school who have not responded as of yet, as it relates to how do we practice safe passageway for families that may be in a situation. And so having these conversations has been very daunting, not just on the families, but our public safety teams as well, that nobody never talks about. But they're impacted too. If they get hurt or injured, they have loved ones at home that they have to get cared for. If they get severely injured, they may not be able to return back to work to serve the community in public service. So it's a lot of different moving pieces as we look at the work that's before us. In Broadview, we know we have values here. If you look at this board, we are a very diverse board. Diversity plays a big role in a lot of things when you talk about fascism in the state of the country. Federal government, I have no control over that. When I heard about the tear gas or the young man that lost his life in Franklin Park, it broke my heart, because you want to detain someone of a moving violation? Is that where we really are in America? So although we have the demonstrators, we've had peaceful demonstrators for 3 weeks. On Fridays, they come, they do their demonstration, they go home. On Sundays, they return, they come, and they do a prayer. Prayers are powerful. The only thing that I have that's within my immediate means is to continue praying to God that He send us some relief to change the minds of some of the people that's out here targeting. What's unacceptable is we have agents with masks on. We don't know who they are. But it could be a young African-American kid walking down the street. They get into a situation. And so we've been communicating with our Broadview residents on how to make them feel safe and protected. And all of this just remind me of COVID-19. I was the mayor during COVID-19. And I think the true difference in where we are in today versus 2020, 21, is that COVID-19, we was unsure because you couldn't see the virus. We heard of all the multiple deaths that took place. We saw people coming together to help our seniors, to go buy food, pick up prescription. But the difference is this is physical, and we can see this, but we cannot bear no fear in the things that we truly value and believe in. And so when we stand united and together, like the proviso mayors have, to give support from their police departments and their fire departments, that's the work of humanity. We have to keep showing up with love and kindness, even in unpredictable times, in uncertainty. And that's just where we are in the village of Broadview with all of this. It's a fight that's bigger than me, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than anybody in the village of Broadview, but prayers do work. We're a very resilient community, and I know no weapon formed against us shall prosper, even with that facility here in town. And so we take a position of just treating people fair and showing love and kindness in everything that we do, because if we continue to do that, that's when true transformation takes place for the work of humanity. That's the work we should be focusing on. That's the work that I'm focused on today, and that's the way that I lead the village of Broadview, with love and kindness and what's best for humanity and what's best for our residents and the people that come work here, the people that come visit us, and to all of our staff. How do we look at being safe first? So thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. Now I need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, do we have a motion? Is that a motion by trustee Shelby? It's been a motion by trustee Shelby, seconded by trustee Senior to adjourn this evening's meeting. All in favor say
At
aye.
8:21.
Pardon me, Mayor?
8:21.
Excuse me.
I heard all the ayes. All opposed say nay. Hearing no opposition, we are hereby adjourned at 8:21 p.m. Thank you all for coming. God bless and good night.